Hello everybody, and welcome to another session with me, Susan, for Senior Strength. If you did the previous video with me, you will recall that we did some cardio, we did some strength training, and we also worked with light and medium weights. What we're doing today is something entirely different, and that is a fun-filled walking workout where we're going to be doing a range of movements, and you're going to be getting all the benefits that you would expect from a 30-minute session. So in a few moments, we're going to start with our warm-up, which is simply a plie. So take your feet out to the sides, toes pointed slightly out. Roll your shoulders back, down, slightly out to create some space between the shoulder blades, chin parallel to the floor, zip up that navel, keep your knees soft and relaxed. You're going to take a deep belly breath in as you come down, and breathe out as you come up, and again, and come up. Now you want to concentrate on filling your tummy with air rather than your chest area. The moment you breathe from the chest, you're taking fairly shallow breaths. Deep belly breathing is what is beneficial for our health and is great for reducing levels of anxiety. So just a few more like this, in and out, in and out. In a few moments, we're going to do some taps to the side with our hands on our hips. In 3, in 2, in 1, and simply tap it out. You will see that I'm inclined in the middle to take quite a deep dip. I like to do a mini squat. It's entirely up to you if you want to do that. You certainly reap the benefits of toning your inner thigh muscles. So just a few more like this. Remember, don't hunch those shoulders. Keep that chin parallel to the floor and zip that navel in rather than clenching your stomach. We're going to come back to our default walking position in 3, in 2, and 1, and walk it out. Pump those arms slightly. The moment you pump those arms, you have no choice but to twist your torso from side to side, which means that you're already beginning to whittle away that waist. Now, before we go to the next move, I do want to talk a little bit about activating the core, which is something I spoke about in the previous session. When I speak about activating the core, I'm speaking specifically about activating your pelvic floor muscles. Keep it simple. Think about activation in this way. Imagine that you're trying gently to stop the flow of urine, and at the same time, as funny as this sounds, you're also trying to stop yourself from passing gas. I know it's a lot to remember. Now you've got to activate the pelvic floor muscles. You've got to zip up that navel, keep your shoulders back, down and out, and chin parallel to the floor, and remember to breathe. It'll come much more naturally as you practice though. Our next move is going to be a slow hamstring curl. At first, we're not going to use any arms. In 3, in 2, and in 1. See if you can get your heels to kick your buttocks. I really love this exercise, whether it's part of a warm-up or part of a cardio session proper. It strengthens your hamstring muscles. Those are the muscles at the back of your legs, and it gives you a wonderful stretch in the front of your thighs. You can now add arms. I'm speaking here about adding the arm on the side that you bend your leg. You'll see what I mean in a moment. In 3, in 2, and in 1, and add an arm. Feel as though you're trying to get your fingertips to touch the ceiling. Feeling a good stretch along the sides of your body. And in 3, in 2, in 1, come back to your walk. Our last warm-up exercise will entail heel taps to the front. So again, hands on hips, in 3, in 2, and in 1, and tap. You will see that I'm bending that supporting leg as much as I can to get some more toning benefits in. I'm going to add arms to the front in a moment, as though I'm trying to push something away with the palms of my hands. In 3, in 2, and in 1, and push, push. Keep it at shoulder height, and as you come back, try to make those shoulder blades touch. Very nice. Are you warmed up? I certainly am. If you feel this is not quite enough for you, you can always go back to the beginning and repeat the warm-up. We're going to go back to a walk before we go into our cardio routine. In 3, in 2, in 1, and walk it out. Take a few deep belly breaths in, out, in, out. Always in through the nose, out through the mouth. Very nice. So let's begin with our cardio. We're going to do some side steps, and we're going to do some double side steps. I'd like you to come to the one side, take a double step to the side. Again, I'm getting my legs as low as I can to tone those thighs. If you can't go this low, it's perfectly fine. Don't force anything. Be kind to yourself and always be gentle on your body. Lovely. My pulse is going up, and yes, I'm beginning to sweat. You can just ever so slightly speed it up if you want to. Otherwise, you can simply retain the pace that's most comfortable for you. We're coming back to a walk in 3, in 2, and in 1, and walk it out. Pump those arms. I'm going to constantly be reminding you about your posture, deep belly breathing, and activating your core. Next, we're going to do a side step again, but this time, although we're doing a double, we're also going to be lifting one knee. So for now, simply place your hands on your hips. Double step. On the last step, knee raise. Knee raise. What's great about this one is that it's not just for your legs. You're also toning your abdominal muscles. Make sure that you don't lean back and that you don't lean forward. Keep your body as upright as you can. Very nice. In a moment, we're going to raise our arms above our head, which will instantly increase your pulse. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. In 3, in 2, and in 1. Bring your arms down as that one knee comes up. Lovely. I think you feel instantly what I mean the moment you have to raise your arms above your head. We're coming back to our walk in 3, in 2, in 1, and walk it out. This is our active rest period. If this is too much for you, you can slow it down substantially. Listen to your body. You don't want this to be agonizing. You want this to at least have some fun attached to it. Right. What we're going to do next is again a side step, but this time a single step, and we're going to do some arm crosses. By arm crosses, I mean stretching your one arm to this side and then to the other. So come over to the side. We're going to step, single. Very nice. Give those sides a nice stretch. this stage, just again, ever so slightly, speed it up. Get that heart rate up. Get that sweat going. And in 3, in 2, in 1, we're going to walk it out. Deep breath in and out. You can do that several times if it's needed. Next, we're going to do a mini squat, and we're going to pause in the middle, and we're going to punch out to either side. Now, there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can either squat in the middle, punch without moving the feet, or alternatively, what you can do, and that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to punch and bring my heel out. It's entirely up to you. Mini squat. You don't have to make the squat very deep if that's uncomfortable. Many of us have knee problems, and you don't want to cause any injury or further pain. Punch it out, and punch, and punch. I know you must be tired, but don't quit now. We are almost halfway. And in 3, and in 2, and in 1, and walk it out. Beautiful. The next move is quite conventional. This is something you're all accustomed to, and that is a box step. I'm going to demonstrate as you continue to walk. So you're going to come to the front, and you're going to go back, just like this. We're going to do that in a few moments, starting with one leading leg, and I will tell you when we do the switch. But we need to make it a bit harder than that, because it is, after all, a cardio session. So you're going to be raising the one arm as you raise the leading leg. So it looks like this, in 3, in 2, in 1. Again, raising those arms means that your heart has to work a little harder. As you come to the front, see if you can go even lower. I know that many of us don't like squats, but this is an adapted squat. So I think it's doable, especially if you know it doesn't go on forever. We're going to switch in 3, in 2, and in 1. Don't worry if you don't get the switch right. I've said in my previous video, I'm not the most coordinated individual. It's taken me a while to get this. There we go. Remember that breathing? Remember the posture? Remember about activating those pelvic floor muscles. In 3, in 2, in 1, and active rest, which I'm pretty grateful for at this moment. Right. In our next move, it's entirely up to you if you want to make it challenging, but you don't have to. It's going to work just as well. We're going to do a little hop. And by a hop, I mean, well, not even, let's put it this way, your feet won't even have to leave the floor. So let me demonstrate while you're walking. It's a hop. Some of you might want to make it a little bigger. That's fine. So let's do that in 3, in 2, and in 1. You will see that we don't do much jumping in these sessions. It's not necessary. So tiny hop, ever so small. It doesn't even mean that your feet are leaving the ground. Pretend as you come down that you're trying to seat yourself in a chair. Lovely. Tiring, right? If this is too much, you don't have to hop at all, and you can simply do this. We come back to our active resting walk in 3, in 2, in 1, and walk it out. Lovely. Okay. Now that raised my heart rate. So I'm going to slow down even more. I'm going to swing my arms And I'm going to take some deep belly breaths in and out. In and out. In and out. One last time. In and out. Lovely. Let's go back to our walk. Next, we're going to take a step to the back with alternating legs. At first, we're going to simply put our hands on our hips, and then we'll add arms after that. So, in 3, in 2, and in 1. Step back and back. Now, this is not a squat, which doesn't mean that you can't add a squat if you'd like to add some oomph. But this is working very well, believe me. Retain that posture, zip that navel up, keep that pelvic floor activated, and stretch each leg alternatively to the back. At this stage, again, see if you can ever so slightly speed it up, but you also don't have to if that's too much for you. Right. Beautiful. We're coming back to an active walk in a few seconds. In 3, in 2, in 1, and walk it out. Next is a side shuffle. We're going to shuffle, shuffle with our arms swinging from side to side like this. You'll see in a moment what I mean. Now you can do a single shuffle or you can do a double. It really does depend on where you're finding yourself at. Perhaps you have minimal room, you live in a very small apartment, or you have had to move furniture around just to accommodate the session. It doesn't matter if you have to make the movements small, you're still getting all the benefits that you need. So let's move over to the side, and we're going to, first of all, swing our arms and do our side shuffle. So I'm only making 2 steps to every side. You can make single steps or double. Right. So again, having to raise those arms means that you're giving your heart a wonderful workout. Your heart is certainly going to thank you for this. I hope I'm not breathing too heavily into my microphone, but this is hard work. Let's see if we can speed it up. Just a little bit. Lovely. Keep it up. We only have 10 seconds of this left. In 3, in 2, in 1, and walk it out. Very nice. Now the next move you can do while jogging or marching. It's entirely up to you. It's what we call punch ball, which you might have seen boxers do. It's a very fast move that looks like this. You raise your elbows. So you can do that walking. Alternatively, if you can do it while jogging. So I'm going to come into a jog. I think I'm going to push myself today. So, in 3, in 2, in 1, and start your punch ball. Do it as fast as you can, if you can. And in a few moments, I'm going to ask you to do it in the other direction. There we go. Very nice. And in 3, in 2, in 1, and come back to that walk. That's a good one. Very good for coordination. I always say that one of the aspects I love most about exercising is that it's not just good for the body, it's very good for the mind, because you really have to think through all these moves. Pump those arms. Very nice. Now we're going to do a side kick. So this is a little bit of kickboxing. If you feel that you're going to come off balance and tip over, you can always hold onto a chair or onto a wall. So let me show you what I mean while you are still walking. You're going to come to a dead stop and you're going to kick to one side and then to the other, holding your fists up to your face as though you were trying to defend yourself from being hit in the face. So let's do that in a few moments. If it's too much for you, you can really kick low. It doesn't have to be very high. Let's try that. In 3, in 2, in 1, and kick. Kick it out as though you're trying to ward off an enemy on each side. This is not just a cardio move. It's also, as you can very well see and feel, a great balancing exercise. And of course, very good for the legs as well. And kick, and kick, and kick. As I said, if this really is too much, you can keep the kicks low. You're still getting a full workout. And we're going to come to a stop, to that active rest. In 3, in 2, in 1, and walk it out. Beautiful. Swing those arms. Remember, take deep belly breaths. Think about your posture. Activate that core by thinking about your pelvic floor muscles. Next is a can-can. Now, there's no need to do any hopping. Let me show you what I mean. Some people would perhaps do this, but you don't have to. You can simply bend the knee and then kick that same leg without doing any jumping movement. So let's do that. You can put your hands on your hips or by your sides, whatever is most comfortable. In 3, in 2, in 1. Bend that knee, kick it. Bend, kick. Again, it's really not about how high you kick. You will still be toning those abdominal muscles. Who knew that you could get this much abdominal toning by not even doing anything on the mat? There we go. Kick it. Kick it. Now what I want you to do is to add alternate arms, but this time we're not going to do the bending of the knee. It's going to simply be a kick to the front. So kick it, alternating your legs and your arms. Lovely. Kick it and kick it. Almost there. We really are moving towards the end. 5 more kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and walk it out. We haven't stopped punching the air. I have one more cardio move for you, but let's first walk it out. Deep breath in and out. Again. And out. Very nice. We're going to come to a dead stop. So widen your stance. Feet turned out once again. Do a little bit of a plie. Remember to bring the knees out. You don't want them to cave in. Heels flat, firmly on the floor. And you're simply going to kick forward with alternating arms. You're going to kick those arms and not those legs. So punch forward. Put some force behind it, which doesn't mean you're locking your elbows. Now, we're not finished. As you do this, and if you can, I would like you to come down a little lower, just a little bit. And you continue in this way. Now, you guessed it, lower. And you continue punching forward. Are your legs burning? And one more time, lower, and punch it forward. For good measure, in a few seconds, you're going to punch above your head. In 3, in 2, and in 1. Punch. Now we're going to punch 4 times up and 4 times to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more up and forward. And relax. Very slow walk. Swing those arms. Take a deep breath. And out. In and out. I'm going to take a sip of water. And by the way, take sips as much as you need to. Feel how good that workout was for your mind and for your body. Okay, you're going to really slow down your pace. What you can now do is come to a stand still. Swing that body, swing that torso. My apologies for the cough. Very nice. Now, I'd like you put one hand on the hip, bring your arm up, stretch it up and over. Don't force it too much. Just do some gentle bends. You can just stand still, or as I'm doing, you can simply pulse. But these are gentle pulses. Come to the front, cross it over, come up. Other side, arm up, stretch to the side, no forcing. Either keep it here or do a pulse, which is what I like to do. Feel that wonderful stretch down the side of your body. And come across your body and bring yourself upright. Let's roll our shoulders back a few times. Back and down. Let's do a shoulder stretch. Take some deep breaths. Feel how good that was. Other side. Deep breaths. Very nice. Relax. Let's do a quadricep stretch. You might want to hold onto a wall here. The tip I gave in my previous video is to tilt your pelvis ever so slightly forward, and you will feel some tremendous gains in stretching that quadricep. The more you practice your balance, the more you'll be able to stand without supporting yourself with a chair or on a wall. Bring it down. Other side. Tilt that pelvis forward to feel that stretch. Feel how good that is. Breathe. Lovely. Let's do some stretches for the back of the legs. So you're going to bend the supporting leg, bring the one leg forward and hinge forward from the hips. So no curling, you're just hinging forward, and you're going to feel a lovely stretch at the back of the leg that comes out to the front. Hold it. And then come up. Other side, supporting leg bent. Bring the one leg forward. Rest your palms on the supporting leg, not too heavily. Feel that wonderful stretch at the back of your legs. Lovely. And come up. Give yourself a pat on the back. Thank you so much for joining me, and I do hope to see you in the next session. Bye-bye for now.